This is video number 8. Video number 8 will cover inputables. So inputables inherit from game objects, and an enumeration class that I used for inputables was the press and release. This is just easier to read than a true or false boolean. We have our big four, our scene, deregistration, and registration. Once we go through our brokers and everything else, we have our submit, deregistration, and registration for our user to call from their game objects. And we have a key press and key release to be overloaded by the user when the registered key is pressed or released. Things do get a little bit more complex once I go down, but I'll try and explain my thought process. What I do here is I have a map, that being the keyboard event manager, of a given Azul key to a single key event manager, so that when I need to delete from the keyboard event manager, I store that iterator inside my collidable. And further down, going inside of that, since the keyboard event manager is a manager of single key managers, I also save the iterator of the single key event managers list, that being the pressed list and the released list, so I can quickly delete those from the list when needed. Everything else is just a little bit more information of the things that I used. Deregistration and registration, much like everything else, just call execute when going through our brokers and executing at the proper time. Our keyboard event manager is, again, the one that's a little bit more confusing. We have an STD map, and the map is of keys to single key managers. That way, since a map is what is big O of log n time, we can speed up the process of searching through our single keys later on. We do process our elements in that way. Once we have our given information, we can just quickly go into our single key managers, our register inputables to our map, and our deregistration to our map are here. Going into the single key, once again is a bit complex. The things that we store here is the type of key that we are currently in, as well as a list of key press commands. So since multiple inputables might use the same key, we store all of them here. Release is the same as the key press command list. We have a boolean to define if a key was last pressed or last released, so that way it doesn't continuously mark as released or pressed. We also have our process elements when need be, and our register and deregister from either of these two lists, depending on the input type that was passed. So whether I want to add or remove from the key pressed or key released list. And I believe that covers everything for the keyboard input system.